Well, hello, good afternoon and welcome back to the channel on this somewhat dreary Monday. Today I'm playing a bit more with the wonderful Osmo 2 and one or two little bits of additions to as well. And one of the things I want to try out is sound, and you'll see why I want to play with sound, because I'll explain more after the titles. So here we go. Welcome to Vandromeda's Travels. Sound is quite important. Now you may have noticed that I've got this on here, which is the wireless microphone that comes with the DJI Pocket 2 Creator Edition, I believe is what it's called. Anyway, it comes with it and it's currently switched on, so that's what you are hearing now. And that's great, that's fine, because there's just me. And I haven't got its little wind fluff thing on because I'm sat in the van. However, let me just try and show you what happens if I disconnect, so you'll get the sound just from the Osmo while I then put the wind muff on it. So let's switch it off. And it tells me on screen that the wireless mic is disconnected, and you can see that it is. There are no little green lights on. Now, just to show you that the microphone is there, as you can see, and this little, what they call a dead cat, which has two little, I don't know whether you'll be able to see them, but there's two little plastic things there that then clip in to the little notches either side of there, which I'm not going to be able to do. Am I? Or am I? Clip, right, that's in. So that's your dead cat, and that should mean that you now get no wind noise. So let's try that. First we switch it on with the little slider on the side. The green light comes on at the top and it should now be working. Now I've got no idea whether it'll have picked that up, but if I blow at it, we'll hear whether or not there was any wind noise. Now that's going to be fine for just the one person, but quite frequently there are two of us. There's Jill and there's me, and I've already made enquiries with DJI. Let's plug this back on, otherwise take it off, otherwise it's not going to work properly. There we go. Normally I'd have it so you can't see it, but you know. So I got hold of DJI and I said, look, is there any chance, is there any way that we can make two of these wireless senders work with the one do-it-all handle that's on the Osmo 2? And they came back and he said, no Dave, you can't, won't work. So I've had to find another way of doing it. Well, I already had another way of doing it. I had thought firstly that I might use something like this, which is the Rode, what's it called? Anyway, it's one of these things. It's a shotgun mic, yeah, and that's fine, but it is highly directional at short distance. It works really well on all of my other kit, but for this purpose it's a bit big when you compare it with the Osmo itself, which I shall try and do now by using my original Osmo Pocket, and I shall try and put the two of them together so you can see what they look like. It's not easy to do. Put it down, David, a bit. There you are. As you can see, if I put the two together, one's as big as the other. Not really a lot of use. So yes, it was then very much a case of what else have you got that you can use. So this was where my Saramonic kit came in. Here is the receiver for the Saramonic dual mic system. This works with two mics, and as luck would have it, the do-it-all handle has got an input for a 3.5mm jack. I'll see if I can show you that. That really didn't enjoy it. Alrighty, so using the Osmo Pocket Can I get in? Will it focus? You can see there that there's a 3.5mm jack, into which I tell you what, I'm doing some. Right, so that's right. I now ought to be able to set this up. This is something I want to try as well, so ignore the fact that I'd already plugged that in. What I'm going to do is get my Saramonic wireless microphone, switch that on, switch the receiver on. Now this is going to be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to plug the Saramonic mic itself in. Everything's furtling all over the place here. Right, that's now plugged in. And I don't know whether it picks the wired mic up at the same time as the radio mic. If it does, we're quids in. Aha, I think we've now gone to the Saramonic. Well, the easy way to find out is to switch the Osmo one off. It lights out, so that's off. It tells me the wireless mic is disconnected, but I can see from on screen that I'm actually getting signal from this. And if I scratch it, that seems to be working. Now, the big question is, which gives the better sound? 1-to-1, I think it'll be fine. So what I need to do at some time in the future is put the other one on, Jill, and try it. Now I've used the two of them before and they do work quite well. So here's the thing. It's still telling me the wireless mic is disconnected. I'm assuming that I'm coming in from the Saramonic, because if I scratch it, that works. So let's go back to the Osmo and see what happens. What happens if I switch it on? And what I'm going to do while I'm doing this, I am going to capture the screen. Okay, it's now capturing. So if I now switch on the wireless microphone, you see the green light come on, there it is, and it tells me that it's connected. Now what happens if I scratch? I think the Saramonic is overriding it. So what I'm going to do now is unplug the Saramonic. That's now unplugged, and if I scratch this, you can see that it comes in from the wireless microphone. I'm looking at the screen, so yes, right. So now what you're hearing is the DJI Pocket 2 wireless microphone. And if I knock this off, you'll hear the DJI Pocket 2's inbuilt microphones. That's the next one. So now it's the DJI Pocket 2 inbuilt microphone. And one of the things I'm noticing straight away is that there's a little bit more background noise, if you like. So let's go from there and plug in the Saramonic. That's now in, and that seems to be working quite nicely. And again, check it just by scratching it. That seems to be working, but you will see from the screen grab that the wireless mic is still disconnected, so you can see what's going on here. I'll stop the screen recording now, I think.
Sometime later.
Right, well, I've had a chance to review that footage now, and I'll put some annotations, or you'll have seen some annotations as we've gone through it, as to what I'm thinking. But a number of things have occurred to me. First one is that the inbuilt mics in the Pocket 2 by themselves inside the van sound a little bit tinny and a little bit cavernous, and they lack that bottom end, the fullness of sound, if you like, which is a bit of a shame. But that said, they'll be fine for outdoor stuff, because outdoor stuff it's going to be that way. Although if Jill and I are both recording together, then we'll probably go for the Saramonics. The reason being that we can have two mics on feeding into the Pocket 2 or indeed the Osmo Pocket via its audio adapter, and therefore you'll get both sets of sound properly. The same would apply if we're using the Pocket 2 inside Vandromeda as we are motoring down the road, because what you may have heard or may not have heard, I wasn't able to hear all that well because they were still doing it while I was recording, but there's a guy up the road using a still saw to do some what do you call it, block paving on one of the neighbours' drives, so that was quite noisy. And yeah, if you haven't heard it, then these mics are doing a really good job. If you have, well, there's nothing much you can do about that, is there really? So yes, the wireless mic that comes with the Pocket 2 is, I think, really good quality. I really like the way this is working. What I haven't shown you is that on its side it's got a 3.5mm jack. So if you wanted to use what's known as a lavalier microphone, and I have one here, strangely enough, you can indeed plug a lavalier microphone in. In fact, let's give it a try, shall we? Clonk. Put that one on. Where's the hole? You'll see that the hole's at the top. You can see I've now plugged it in, and you'll be able to hear the difference it makes. It gives you that orange light rather than a green one to let you know that you're working with a lavalier mic. So I've got the lavalier mic on now. Is it any better? Is it any worse? You need to choose on that one. And I've not heard this. I'm hoping it's good. I'm looking at the meters, and it looks pretty good on the meters, so we'll just put that over to one side. So right, where are we going to go with all of this then? Okay, for the two of us, I'm going to be using the Saramonics. I like the quality of them. They hold charge for ages. You get 6 or 8 hours of use out of both senders and the battery. We've had them on for a full journey between leaving one site and getting to the next on a 5-hour drive, without switching them off, and they've been absolutely fine when we've got there, so that's good. For Jill to use when she's out with her Pocket 2 recording around the place, if she's outdoors, then she can obviously just take the Osmo, no, not the Osmo, David. She can take the Pocket 2 wireless microphone with her. That's going to work. She doesn't need to use it with one of these lavalier mics. She can use it just straight as, clip it on, off you go. Jobs are good and kind of thing, and that's grand. The mics on there, Todd, just what's in the Pocket 2, I can't say I'm massively keen on them. A bit tinny, lacking the bottom end, and I do like a little bit of bottom end on the sound. I'm an old rocker. Yeah. I have to say, I've been well impressed by the DJI Pocket 2 thus far. As pieces of kit go, I'm really quite impressed by the Pocket 2. I haven't stretched it very far at all, and I'll freely admit that we do have some auxiliary lighting going on at the moment, and I'll talk about that in a separate video. So there you go. Look, where are we at? Let's run down it one more time. Jill by herself use the Pocket 2 wireless that's come with it. That's what it's there for. It works very well, no bother at all. If there's the two of us, we can use the Saramonics and plug that into the side of the do-it-all handle. As you've already heard, the quality of that is very good as well. The external mics, or sorry, the internal mics on the Pocket 2, they're all right if you're out and about, and I suppose if you're doing an interview and you haven't got the Saramonics with you, or if there's more than two, then they're going to have to do, and that'll require a little bit of work in post just to get the audio quality the way I would want it anyway. I suppose I ought to say I do this because I used to be a sound engineer, and sound always bugs me. I like to get it right. So, you know, it's one of those things that you play with. So there you go. If you found this useful, if you found it interesting or just vaguely entertaining, you know what to do. Thumbs up, subscribe down below, leave a comment and so on and so forth. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Leave a comment and tell me why though, because if you don't tell me why you didn't like it, I can't make it better for you in the future, and that's what we want to do. So that's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one, but until then, enjoy the roads, enjoy the skies, but most of all, no matter what tier you're in, enjoy your lives. We'll see you next time. Take care. Dave out. Oh, I forgot to mention, you see this little button on the side there? That's what you use to do the Bluetooth link up. But if you press it, you can start a recording and stop a recording. Watch.